What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. It is Wednesday. We are live on YouTube and on IG. Few announcements before we get started. Hit that like button, smack it. Lay the smack down on the like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and a message out. Help a brother out. Come on. Also, it is a talk show, so you can call in at any point by calling 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and we can talk about whatever you want. It don't matter. We can get into it. We can argue. We can agree. We can fellowship. Whatever you want to do. I'm here for it. If for whatever reason you can't call in, but you still have a question or comment, or you just want to support the show, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV. The link is in the description, or go directly to the YouTube live chat. Hit the super chat button. Boom! Send your question or comments there. I'll read them live on air. Nice. Oh, you're coming back in. Right on. Shout out to IG. Shout out to the folks on IG. What's going on? How y'all doing? The Lions Den holding it down. Right on. Shout out to the Snake Pit on the YouTube chat. The Mod Squad holding it down. I did cut down on a few mods. I did cut down. I had to. I realized I had a lot of mods in there hanging out, and some haven't been around for a little while, so I just demodded. No big deal. But I did bring it down a little bit because it was getting a little crowded in there. Too many chefs in the kitchen, you know what I mean? But anyway, we are going to get straight to it. You know what I mean? We got some stuff we're going to get into. Oh, I said demodded, demoted, but demodded. You know what I mean? But let's get right into it, because huge dating red flags. This is something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while. For a long time, but I just didn't have it didn't quite make sense yet. But I want to get into some dating red flags, because us guys waking up, and guys in general who are just trying to do it right, or just trying to look for something long term, or just trying to not to avoid all the problems and the issues, right? Red flags that I want to point out, in my opinion, that'll help the process. Now, anything I say, for one, don't believe me. Think for yourself and know for yourself, because I can always be wrong. But on these specific things, in everything in general, but specifically right now, don't hold on too tightly to them, right? Like, because there's always exceptions to the rule. There's always wiggle room. And what I mean by exceptions to the rule is that there's always a point where maybe it might be okay or it might be necessary, right? So you don't want to hold on too tightly to anything. You want to have that wiggle room so you can see what the best option is. But for the sake of the topic and for the sake of what makes sense in a general way, we're going to get into it. So I'm just going to give 3 major dating red flags that I see, that I have found over time, that are major red flags to me, okay? Number 1 is expressing your interest too soon. And what I mean by that is, like, just right off the bat, letting the person know that you like them. Whether it be like saying it, I like you, or showing it right off the bat. Like, don't be so obvious so soon. You know what I mean? Just chill, just relax and chill, and just kind of just like feel it out, feel each other out. Because when you make it so obvious, and this is what I found in my life, is that you back the other person in the corner, right? You kind of like, throw it on them. Like, oh, I like you. But you don't necessarily know if they like you in return. So it's kind of an uncomfortable thing to the person receiving it when they're unsure if they don't know what they feel, right? And you in general, if you think you like someone so quickly, you don't even know exactly what you want because you don't even know if you're going to want this person. You don't even know if you like this person. You're just attracted to the person, right? Or you find something interesting about the person, but it doesn't mean that you're going to like them. So first red flag is expressing your interest too soon. Just don't be so obvious about it out the gate, okay? Number 2, naming and claiming the interest. Naming and claiming interest. Becca just said in the chat what I'm about to say right now. Is it creates an expectation, right? When you name and claim something, it creates an expectation. What do I mean by naming and claiming? We're talking, we're dating, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, my friend with benefits. Don't do none of that stuff. Stop naming and claiming. Stop doing it. The reason why, and I'm talking about period. The reason why I say that is because it creates expectations, right? It creates, now you have to live up to this title. What does this title mean? And the title can mean something different to one person to another, right? If I say boyfriend or girlfriend, that says exclusivity. But the only title that exists is marriage, husband and wife. That's the only real title, husband and wife. Everything else is trying to figure out if we'll make it to husband and wife. So it creates an expectation that shouldn't exist yet. And like Becca said in the chat, it puts pressure on the relationship, right? Is that while you're dating somebody, that's a time for you to get to know the person, see if you like them or not. But also, you're going to have doubts about the person, right? You're going to have doubts about, do I like this person? Do I not? So you want to be able to have those doubts without feeling guilty, for one, but also without feeling like pressure to be with somebody that you have doubts about. You should be able to roam freely and do what you want, change your mind, make sure, you like this person or not, see other people. You want to be able to have that freedom, right? You don't want to be held down by these false ties of boyfriend and girlfriend and we're talking and exclusively dating. Those are all things that have been made up to control the relationship prematurely, right? You want everything to be free flowing, especially in the dating stage. And even when it comes to dating, the word dating, I know we got to use language and stuff like that, and we're getting to know each other, but you just should be chilling. You know what I mean? You just should be chilling. It shouldn't be a big deal. It shouldn't be like this pressure. It shouldn't be none of that stuff. Right? You want that freedom and you want people to be able to roam freely. And when people roam freely and do what they want, they're free to actually like you more. It actually works more in your favor when you let somebody be free. Right? They don't feel the stress and pressure of being exclusive to you and y'all ain't even married. You're still getting to know each other. So that's number 2, naming and claiming interests. Don't do it. Number 3, stop vetting for the future. Stop going on dates and vetting your dates. Serge know what I'm talking about. Stop vetting your date. Because for one, what the? And I understand it though. It's not like a what's wrong with you type of thing. Because I understand why we do it. But it's not good because what you're doing is you're judging them. You're judging them on a standard that you don't even know that you want. Right? You want life to just unfold. But when you're sitting there like vetting the process, you're only really doing it to please yourself. You're not getting to know the person. You're not just enjoying the moment. You're not just having a good time. You're testing somebody as if we feel we're worthy enough to be testing somebody to see if they're good enough for us. And how could you know that off a first, second, third date? You can't. And when you test people, they're going to fail. When you test people, they're going to fail. And people also don't know what they want. So they may give you an answer that's not even true. You don't want to vet people. Oh, I'm trying to look for my future wife. Oh, I'm trying to look for my future husband. That's a setup as well. Because you'll end up, let's just say that they pass all the check marks on the first few dates. Oh, they got my list. They passed my list. And now you're convinced yourself that this is your future husband. And when they do one thing wrong, right? One thing wrong, you're all over the place. You overreact. And now they're a liar, cheater, all these things. And you guys weren't even married in the first place. And it only been 2 weeks. I've been there, maybe not that extensive, but I've been in that place. We're trying to move too fast. I've been on that stuff. And I was looking towards the future. And you don't want to do that. That's a problem. So far I have 3 red flags. So don't vet. And lastly, when it comes to that, the most important thing, and then I'm going to get to some calls. The most important thing is you want to just hang out and have fun. And I'm speaking to myself on these things. I'm speaking to myself. I'm going through all that stuff, right? Looking to the future, trying to name and claim. Like I've done all those things and, I still in that space. But I'm learning through this process that those things don't work. So you just want to hang out and have fun, right? Because it may go really well and it may go really well for a little while, right? A few weeks, a few months, a few years. But that still doesn't mean that that's your husband or wife, right? It still doesn't mean it's going to last forever. You want to just hang out, get to know each other, and have fun. And when those the real conversations come up, let them come up naturally. But you should be keeping it light and easy going. You know what I mean? See if you get along. See how it goes. But just be, having fun. Because at the end of the day, it could be a nice friendship. It could be a nice connection that you have. You enjoy hanging out with this person. And maybe you learn a little something from each other. But it doesn't always mean, and I learned this for a fact. It doesn't always mean it's going to be meant to be forever. You know what I mean? Wait and see. Don't think about the future too much at all, but it happens. But don't get caught up in it. And just enjoy the moment. So those are the 3 red flags. 1, don't express your interest too soon. Number 2, stop naming and claiming, boyfriend, girlfriend, dating, talking. Leave it just be. And 3, stop vetting for the future. Putting your dates to the test, see if they're going to pass. Those are all set up, right? Just let life happen. And when we do any of those things, it's all based on our feeling. It's all based on feelings. You wanting to control the person. And it's all manipulation as well. You wanted to control and manipulate the relationship so it's only for you and you can have it. No one else can have it. And it's all for control. Let each person be free to do what they want as they want, right? Without pressure from you, so they can truly make decisions based off of what they see, not by this false pressure. And if they're right for you, you guys would just come together without it having to claim anything. And both of you guys would just know, like, we want to go the distance. The only title should be husband and wife. That's it. That's the only title. Everything else is, if we're going to give it a word, it's just getting to know each other. Getting to know each other and seeing what that is. See what happens. See who they are. You know what I mean? Surrendering to the flow of life. Let life just go as it needs to go. That ain't easy to do because we always want the thrills, right? But let life go. So those are my 3 red flags. Let me get to some super chats real quick, and then I'll get to some calls. Kale Samogi with the super chat. Joel, what makes someone married? My opinion so far is that sex marries people, but you can also have sex out of wedlock, so I don't know. That's a great question. What makes somebody married? Well, for one, and at this point I say it so much it's gonna sound like hippie, but there is a way that God brings 2 people together, and God did it. It's God's doing. And then once you continue to put him first as you guys are getting to know each other, then he's like covering it, right? And then when you guys decide you get married, then you guys have sex, right? You lay down, and according to the Bible, and I believe it to be true, is the 2 flesh become one, right? You become one. And there is like what's the word? I guess a unification that comes from, that like encompasses getting married with the witness, right? The person marrying you under God, but also the sex too. I think that all encompasses what a marriage is. And then from there, God can bless it. But it has to be done genuinely under those guidelines for you to have a great marriage, in my opinion. You know? So yeah, it's not just sex. So you have sex out of wedlock. It doesn't mean that the relationship's going to be over, but it's just going to complicate it for sure. And it's out of order. You know what I mean? So that's what I think. Thanks, Kel. Good stuff. I demod my big. Why you demod your biggest fan? Says Kel. Says Zenny. Well, Kel, I only demodded because he was hasn't been here, and he told me why. So I thought, oh, maybe he's gonna be gone for a while, but he's back. So there goes that. But a few others just haven't been here. So Kel is back. But anyway, let me check the super chats here. My close and personal friend Jib Jab bought a donut on Buy Me a Coffee and said, would you ever consider gene editing if it was free and if surgery was needed? Excuse me, would you do it for a for a Negro? I don't know how to answer that because I think it's just a joke only. It was a setup joke. No, but it was funny. Would you do it for a knee grow? Don't be so racist. Get your mind out the gutter, people. He was talking about your knee growing. Thank you, Jib Jab. Appreciate it. Nice. Okay, let's get to some calls. We got some calls we want to get to. Let me get to Serge from Texas. Serge, welcome to the show. You're on the air, man.
Hey, Joel, how are you?
How's it going, Serge? All is well.
I totally disagree with you.
Right on. Bring it on.
So the reason why we're in this situation, I'll start with this, the whole taking it light thing.
Yeah.
If I'm being genuine, I'm being honest. If I want to, be the devil, which I've done many times, all I have to do is go out and keep it light, and I'm gonna have a good old time. But if I'm dating with intention, now there's accountability on that, which is I know I can't sleep with a woman that I'm not going to take care of. Mm-hmm. And no woman should be giving herself to me if I'm not going to put her in my home and provide. That's the standard. So we should be dating with intention. It shouldn't be light. The pressure should be there. And when it's light and the women don't have that pressure, they run crazy.
Well, I understand what you're saying, and I'm not disagreeing with it at all. I actually think that, but I think, in other words, what I'm saying is that there shouldn't be any intention, because intention for me seems like force. What I mean is, and maybe you mean the same thing, is there's going to come a point where you're getting to know somebody, even in a light way, however you want to put it, and you're going to realize that you guys aren't on the same page, period. You're just going to realize eventually that, we just think differently and blah, blah, blah. But it's not going to be in a judgmental way like, oh, she's not wifey material. You're just going to realize, oh, we're not on the same page. And from there, then you just don't talk. You know what I mean? But it's no big deal. But it's not this test. It's not this test.
I think it would be better to go in. So if she doesn't qualify,
But see,
Instead of like keeping it light and not talking,
I don't like
it'd
the
be better to tell her.
I don't like this qualified thing. That's what I'm saying is that like,
Hmm.
what makes you think that, or any guy for that matter, think that we have the idea of who qualifies or not? You know what I mean? It
Oh,
feels,
I see.
it doesn't feel like a proper way to go about. You will just see that you guys are on
You
the
like
same
the
page.
you like the you believe in the Bible? Because I'm about to quote the word.
I quote the word. Go ahead.
I'm about to be way off because I don't read that book at all. Um, so it says when a man chooses a wife, does
Okay.
it say that?
You said
Yeah.
what?
So we get to pick, Joel. We get to choose the wife.
Right, but
So she can only like us, but we choose her for marriage. We give her serious commitment. That's on us, not them.
I agree, but it seems like the wrong way to go about it when you talk about qualify, and like when you said last time the vetting process. It's like it shouldn't even be, it shouldn't be this qualification thing. You should just be hanging out, and if you see that this girl is not you guys aren't right for each other, then it doesn't mean that you guys aren't cool anymore. It just means that, oh, okay, we're not good, and then you just keep it moving. But when you talk about vetting and then you sit there on the date asking her deep questions like, oh, are you gonna get what are you gonna do when you get married? Are you gonna be like, I don't know, it just doesn't seem right to me.
Yeah. So what happens is if women are easily fooled, right?
Okay.
That's why they're the weaker vessel. That's why Satan went to them. So if we just we know the game, and we know if we just keep it light and have fun, they're going to offer us,
Oh,
they're going to offer that to us, their bodies. And then what we're supposed to do is do what's right at all times, because that's what makes us the man.
yeah.
And even though they're offering it to us, we're like, I ain't gonna take it unless I'm gonna keep it, unless I'm gonna stay with it, unless
Mm,
I'm gonna deal with this hell. And but that's a necessary pressure that has to be put on men. Just like, yo, you gotta, do some stuff with credit. It's all good pressure. You gotta get a place.
yeah.
It's good pressure for a man. So these are necessary pressures, and for the woman, it's a necessary pressure as well, because she needs to know that there's no taking it light. You can only give yourself to a man only if he's going to follow the law of God, which is he's got to have a place for you. And to what Kyle Samogi said, if I'm saying that right, the whole sex is marriage thing. Well, he was asking, but I totally believe it, because men just have to do what's right. It's not a license, because we know the only reason why a license came into play in the
Right.
United States was due to the white man. I mean, the white woman and the black man getting together, and
Yeah.
they had to make something happen. So it ain't that law. I tell you that right now. But
Yeah.
men have to do what's right and fully commit. But if you commit early, because remember, the men back in the day, Jesse's age, they committed in like 2 weeks.
You said what? Say the last part.
I said the men back in the day, Jesse's age, they committed in like 2 weeks. It wasn't long at all, because they just automatically knew. They knew they had to go
No,
out and get a house.
but not necessarily though, because back then there was a time where um that for the most part people were just decent. So it didn't take that long to have to get to know somebody, but I guarantee it wasn't happening in no, 2 weeks. Because there's just um a natural process that should happen as you're getting to know somebody. And in that natural process, as you're getting to know them, you discover where they're at. But sometimes you can't discover that based off of a question you asked. You know what I mean? Like if you ask them a certain question and they give you an answer, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to discover who that person, can be or is, or whatever the case is. You really kind of just discover it how, as you go about the process of hanging out. And when you keep it light, I'll say this last thing is that when you
Yeah.
keep it light, what you're doing is that you're creating an environment for them that's not judgmental, and it makes them comfortable to open up to you. But if you go into the gate questioning them, they feel judged and closed off, and what they're going to do is they're going to lie. Why are they going to lie? Because they just want to impress you. So they're going to put their best foot forward, even if it's not true, and you're going to eat it up and think it's true and be in a bad situation. I say keep it light so it's nice and fun and easy, and they'll feel comfortable enough to open up to you. And from there, you can kind of see the way to go. What do you think about that?
We're saying the same thing, really. I really think we're right on. We're spot on there. I just think it's being worded differently. So it's a little bit semantics.
So what do you think that I'm saying? What do you think that I'm saying?
I know that you're saying that, you want to kind of let her show who she is without kind of saying I'm looking for this and looking for that, because it's that chameleon is going to be there. On the guys are going to turn into that, and the women are going to turn into that.
Yeah.
It can be either or. So you're definitely, I get you there.
Yeah.
I get you there. But that's why it's important that we have to. So let me ask you this, because is it better to teach that sex is marriage, or is it better not to teach that? Because from what I see, it would be better to teach it, because women would have to know that the guy would have to be open to fully committing, versus the state we are now, which is people think that marriage is a contract based on the government.
What do you mean by teaching it? What do you mean by teaching it? What do you mean by, you said, what do you mean by teaching, laying down with one another before? I don't get what you mean. I don't get what you're asking.
I'm asking you, is it better to teach that laying down is a full commitment, which is marriage, that there needs to be a full commitment there?
Oh. Well, I think what's more important, yes, it definitely should be known that it's better to wait until you're married, right? But I think that in the getting to know process, if we truly start to recognize what that even really means, you start to realize you get to know somebody just on a basic friendship level, right? And of course, you're interested, you're trying to see what's going on, but you're not putting so much pressure on it, and you're just kind of building off that connection that's kind of there.
No, put pressure on it.
Yeah, don't.
Joel, you need to put pressure on it.
No.
The man and woman need pressure. The reason, I'm going to say this last point, because I got to let other people get in this, because I'm a frequent caller. The reason why the pressure is necessary is because the men will have to step up. And guess what? The women are not going to hold us accountable. They're going to give it to us. So men have to do what's right, love what's right. That's part of being a man. And that pressure needs to be there. So if you want to get with her the next day, just know that she's entitled, or rather from the spirit, to be taken care of. But that's a law of God. It's not written anywhere. So, I think it's written in the Bible. So we have to understand. Look, you see, I called on Zeddy for help. We have to understand that pressure needs to be there. Don't lay if you don't want to stay. That's it, man.
Okay. Well, stay on the phone real quick. Let's bring in some help. Okay. I'm gonna take a
nice.
Let's bring in some help here. Let's ask another person. Callers on the line. Hold for a second. I will get to you. Be patient. Let me hold. Let me get. Let me see. Let me go to Becca out of Norway. Becca, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Hi, Joel.
How's it going, Becca? You're on with me and Serge.
Wow.
Hi,
Serge.
Hey, Becca.
How you doing,
What am
Becca?
I getting wrong, Becca?
All is well. How are you guys?
All is well. All is well. What's on your mind?
I just wanted to comment on the dating multiple people at the same time thing.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I don't know about that. Honestly, personally, I wouldn't do that because I feel like it wouldn't be genuine in a way.
Okay.
Because if I want to date someone, I only want to date that person. I want to give my full attention to that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that, and how in relation to into what? In relation to
I don't know. You said something about that. It's okay to date multiple people at the same
oh, I
time.
see.
I think you said it.
Well, I said more so. My point was saying that you should have the option to see other people, to see if you like this person or not, and just kind of like get to know people, because dating in the first place isn't about hooking up. It isn't about
Yeah.
like expressing your emotions to each other and getting closer in that way. No, dating is getting to know each other. And just like me having a conversation on the phone with you, me having a conversation on the phone with Serge or whatever,
Yeah.
it may be a little bit different male to male and male to female, but the point is you're just getting to know each other, right? So there's no harm in doing that with other people that, you know, you might be interested in or you come across, and then you decide after a while that, oh, okay, I actually like this person exclusively for whatever reason.
Okay. So what you're
I
saying
agree
is
with you,
that
Becca.
you need to take the time to figure out if you really like that person, and then you can drop the other one.
Yeah, because you could, exactly. And the reason why I say is because you can think you like somebody and it's going real well, and then you're still getting to know them, and then you see something that you don't like. But now you're
Yeah.
invested. Now you had your mind made up about this person, and now you don't like them anymore. And now it just got weird. Now it's just,
Okay.
you know, instead of like taking time to just see, because we don't know if we
Yeah.
like the people.
So,
Yeah, that's
Joel, let me
true.
ask you
Serge,
this
yeah,
question.
Serge, go ahead, Serge.
Yeah, so let me ask you this: if you're interviewing people, it'd be harder to pick because you have to really see. In order to pick a wife, you have to go in depth. So they need undivided attention.
But see,
Which
that's
you
too
gotta
much,
focus.
Serge. That's what I'm saying. Is like you're putting way too much
But
emphasis
this is
on
this
getting
is
to
a
know
wife.
somebody.
You're gonna deal this
I,
woman for the rest of your life.
but you don't know that. That's what I'm saying. You don't even know if you're
Serge.
gonna marry this person. You should just be having fun and just enjoying yourself in the moment. Like you're
Yeah,
putting so
right.
much pressure on trying to like, is she a wife? Is she the right thing? Is she sex out of what? Like that's too much. Like too much stress.
Serge, you need to relax.
Uh-oh.
Becca, what am
Uh-oh.
I getting? What am I getting wrong,
Like, you
Becca?
can't just right away say, I like you. It puts too much pressure
No,
on
I
you.
didn't. Wait, where you getting that from? Let me Jesse you real quick. Where you getting that thought
It's
from?
my impression of you.
I didn't say that, but what I'm saying is that if I'm going on a date, right? What is the
Yeah.
intention? Men are very intentional.
Yeah, what is the intention for you?
So the intention it's getting to know. Every man's is getting to know if he can get you.
Oh, but see, the thing is, I see what you're saying, Serge, but the thing is, the intention shouldn't be on if this is gonna be my wife. You shouldn't be having that
Yeah,
intention. The intention should just be
exactly.
on like, let's just see what's up, because maybe this person fits in your life in a different place. They don't always
Yeah.
have to fit for marriage. They don't always have to fit for these certain things. Say if you have a business and this person is a good employee, and then you realize, oh shoot, she's good at this or whatever. They may fit somewhere else, but if you go in there just with this one track mind looking for a wife, for one, that shows that the man wants a wife so bad, and for two, it shows that he's judging based off of these standards that can't really be discovered until you really get to know a person.
Yeah.
Well, a relationship is your natural choice. God, from my understanding, I was telling Becca this earlier, it doesn't seem that God has anything to do with our choice. It's kind of like a job. God ain't picking the job. We pick the job. You pick JLP Network. That you pick that. God didn't pick it.
So you don't
One
feel
can
like
say God picked it.
So you don't feel like we're led to certain things.
Well, everybody gonna say that they led. Most women say that they led to their
But
husband.
I'm talking about guys. You don't think that guys are led to things that we just choose them based off of what? In your
but we
opinion?
don't have this. We don't have the Spirit of God in us, so it's all us choosing. We're choosing. We get to choose if we want a wife or not.
Well, speak for yourself when you say you don't have the Spirit of God in you. What the?
I think the point still stands that Joel made. Just relax, take your time, and God will reveal if she's the right one eventually.
I agree. Based, Becca, based.
Becca, God is not going to reveal. Because let me ask you this: doesn't it say in the Word? Doesn't it say in the Word that even if you date someone who doesn't it say that? And I don't follow the Bible; I follow the truth. But it just so happens the Bible got some of that in it.
Yeah.
That even when the person is not in alignment with God, you don't judge them and they don't have that spirit. You can make it work and God can make that relationship work, which shows you that God never originally put it together, but God can make it work if you work on it. So it shows that people are choosing. God ain't choosing.
Interesting.
Am I getting that wrong?
No, I understand what you're saying.
Disagree.
And I just see it a different way, Serge, but I get your point but I think that there's something that also, and it's something to think about for people to think about as well. You never know. That's your perspective, your opinion on it. But I just see it differently. I think that we're led to certain things and you just kind of wait and see what happens. And it is a fallen thing, but I also think that, and I could be wrong, I think that even if you overcome, you'll be able to see if a person is for you to be able to, let's say, get married, have children, to be the right mother, and that stuff will be revealed. But I love to get into this, such a good conversation, and I appreciate it, but I'm so, I only got an hour. So let's...
Hibachi, that's all I got to say. Hibachi. No, I'm playing.
But I appreciate Becca and Serge. You guys can call me again this week or tomorrow or whatever, and we can get back more into it if you want to. But I appreciate the calls.
Becca, come to Dallas.
Nice
I'm
speaking
playing.
to you,
I'm
Serge
playing.
and Joel.
Nice speaking.
I appreciate it, Becca. And call me again, Becca.
Okay.
Later, guys.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Nice. Let me keep moving the calls. Interesting point. I like Serge gives his perspective on it. You know what I mean? And he could be right about certain things. One ear out the other. So, but I appreciate it. Let me go to Pope out of Georgia. Pope, is this the Pope?
Yeah, that's Pope.
Hey, Pope, how you doing?
Hey, doing good?
Hey, Pope, why you tick?
Why do I what?
Nah, I'm playing. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I was just gonna say I think your advice is spot on. It sounds pretty good to me. But
and
as far as Serge,
what exactly? Briefly, what is my point?
Oh, hey, I was listening to Serge so much I forgot about all your 3 points.
Are you on speakerphone, Pope?
Not anymore.
Okay, there we go. That sounds better. It was just a little bit coming in a little loud, but go ahead.
Gotcha. Well, I was gonna say Serge, he sounds good, really good intentions, but I think he's trying to pick out what flavor wedding cake he wants too quick.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah, I agreed with you and what's her name about need to take it easy, take it as being fun, but don't let the fun last, 2 years and you've done wasted time just having fun with somebody.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's got to be fun first. If it ain't fun, how are you gonna get along with them for 50 years?
Yeah, and then you keep it. And what do you think about when I say you keep it light? And when you keep it light, it keeps the environment comfortable, so she feels comfortable to open up, and vice versa, without this judgment, without worrying about if she's missing a mark. And you don't have to worry about her lying because she feels this pressure of trying to look good and be the perfect candidate, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that's super spot on. I mean, if she's not comfortable, she's not going to stick around.
Right.
And I feel like if you come on too strong, she's going to say, well, I might not be up to his standards.
Right.
You know, especially if you're talking about marriage so quickly.
And then some guys as well will think that it's like, oh, well, then that means that she just wasn't right for me. No, it sometimes means that you're coming on too strong.
Yeah, and I don't think any woman really likes that at all.
Exactly.
But yeah, I will say I was going to add to your advice. If you know how nowadays women say, "Oh, he's being too controlling."
Right.
You hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, if men are supposed to lead, you see where I'm going with it? How can somebody lead but not be controlling?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Because I think a lot of women take a masculine man trying to take the masculine lead as him being controlling.
And that's very two different things too. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that there's also not a time to where you are strong in your beliefs, strong in your opinions. And I'm also not saying that when those times come up, you don't speak on it in the name of keeping it light and fun. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that, like, in the process, as you're getting to know the person, when those opportunities come up and you need to be firm on it, be firm, but just don't go in with this mindset thinking that it's a test. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
being led by the moment and just going with the flow is the best way to go.
Exactly. Because there's been times when I was dating, like, I was single all through my 20s, and like little insignificant things.
Yeah.
Where the woman you were seeing would be, you know, you'd say, I just don't think that's a great idea over something not very significant, not marriage type stuff.
Right.
And they would contest you on that opinion for no other reason other than they wanted to be right.
Right.
You know, you pick up on stuff like that and you say, okay, she's probably not going to let me lead. And if I try to put my foot down, she's going to call me controlling.
Yeah.
And she's just going to brush off anything I say at that point. You got to pick up on that small stuff. Like, if she can't accept it with light issues, boy, when you get married and it's the big issues, it's going to be a big issue.
Exactly. And you'll find those same things even when you're keeping it light. You'll see that, oh, okay, like, I can see how she answers that. I can see you'll be able to understand in the midst of even being light and stuff like that. So I agree, Pope, 100%, man. I got to move the calls, but any last comments there before I let you go?
One thing I was going to say, Jesse would probably agree with me with this. If she's got 2 big dogs or more, she's probably crazy.
2 big dogs?
Have you ever noticed that? Yeah, if she's got more than 2 dogs, something's wrong with her.
Something going on. Those are no longer dogs. Those are children. If she got more than 2 dogs.
Oh, yeah. I've noticed that all through dating. If they've got more than 2 dogs, something is wrong.
Something going on. No, I understand it, Pope. I appreciate it. Is your first time calling?
Yeah, for the Joel Show. Yes, sir.
Right on, man. Well, call me again. Good input.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Now, let me get to Zenny. Because Zenny wants to get on all this. Lord have mercy. Zenny want to get in on this. Zenny, what's up, man?
Yo, what up, Joel?
How's it going, Zenny? You only got a few minutes here, so...
Yeah, I know. We're nearing the end, but I just wanted to get my little 2 cents in.
Go ahead. No problem.
So I'm kind of conflicted because I half agree with you, but I half don't. Okay. Because I get what you mean about being chill and, like, letting things flow naturally.
Yeah.
But I also believe that men need to lead, right? So at a certain point, I think you need to take things to the next level if you do see this person as someone you can be in a relationship with. So yeah, like, you have to take it to the next level, right? At a certain point, you have to lead.
But what do you mean by take it to the next level? What do you mean eventually?
Like, so if you're just talking, like, you're dating without any type of, boyfriend, girlfriend title on it, at a certain point, I think the guy needs to be like, all right, I'm looking for a relationship, and this is what I want, and I want you to be my girlfriend. And if you don't if you're not interested in that, then, we shouldn't date anymore because like there's no point, right? Because there's no point in us dating. It's not gonna go to the next level.
Don't you think that both people will come to that understanding without having to say it based off of how much they're getting along or how much they're hanging out, how much they're starting to grow this interest? Don't you think that
in this wishy-washy world, bro, in this wishy-washy world of social media, dating apps, Instagram, bro, like things need to be, their boundaries need to be made between, if you want to have a Christian godly relationship, you need to make boundaries between the way the world does it and the way we do it, because we have to do it in a different way than the world. The world's doing craziness. They're letting things go topsy-turvy, do whatever they want, but we need boundaries. We need the way God wants things to be done. He doesn't want it. I don't think God wants us to be dating multiple people at the same time, because it's just like, and if you find someone you actually like, you want to be putting your focus on that person and getting to know that person in a way that's not like, oh, I'm just getting to know this person, like they're just like a number. Yeah. They're just like a part of my roster, and I'm just like, they're just Thursday night, you know? I got Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday got dates. Like, that doesn't seem like a godly Christian way to be dating to me, at least.
Well, at the same time, is that there's this level of if you have to like seriously put all these type of boundaries. Now, there's going to be boundaries that a man is going to have to like put in general just to let the girl know where he stands. But if we have to do it in such a way that you're speaking of, because of the hookup culture, because of this dating apps and all that stuff, that should tell you that if you have to go out your way to do all these things, then that woman's not the one from you. It should know there's women out there, I believe, and I believe there's some in the chat, but guys don't get carried away. But I believe that a woman that is raised properly by having a father, or one who is overcoming, right, that she will be able to recognize a good man, and she can see the good man in him outside of all the stuff, you know, the mistakes, the mess or whatever, right? Or he's too harsh or whatever. She can see the truth. And that type of woman will be drawn on to you naturally, and she'll just start to like follow your ways. But you won't have to like put all these boundaries during the dating process. Like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Oh, you better not do that. I don't like that.
Well, it's not even just, because no, it's not that. It's just like your boyfriend, girlfriend. So like we're exclusive. That's basically that's why you do it, right?
But but a real guy and a real girl already know that's the case. They don't have to say, "Oh, we're exclusive now." Like, we already knew. I already knew I was exclusive to you, and she should already know that she's. But you don't have to say all these things, right? And that's why I don't like saying it, because you could be saying it for ego reasons. When let people be free, and you guys will both know, like, okay, we are, we're this. That's just what we are.
But how does that? When does that happen? Like, how do you know that you've moved on from, like, okay? Because from what you've said, it's like at that point, and then talking time, you could be talking to 12 people at the same time. So how do you know you've gone from that to?
Because at that point, when you get to that point where you realize both of you guys like really want to take it to the next level, then for one, at that point, all the other 12 people were already dropped off. And then that's when you realize, you know what, like, I could see myself with you, and you'll know, both people will know. And that's when you take it to the real next level. The marriage, the titles, but the boyfriend and girlfriend thing is child's play to me.
But you just look at, so you're saying you go straight to marriage from there?
You go straight to, because you guys never, you shouldn't even, there shouldn't be like, there is no next level. You only get to know each other.
Ain't no one is talking or just talking, no boyfriend, girlfriend type dating and going straight into marriage. Like,
right.
No one is doing that.
Right, because the world is jacked up. We know this. The world has been taught all wrong about dating.
No, but even
everything.
Christian people don't do that. Like, they move into that boyfriend, girlfriend. I mean, they may not kiss or have sex the entire time they're dating exclusively, but they're still dating exclusively as boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, they're not just going from like, perhaps some of them say that they're courting that whole time, but I believe that is something that's before dating. I don't know.
Well, I think that, and then I gotta end the show, but I think that eventually all the other people that you were just getting to know start to fall away because you're just really vibing with this person. You're connected with this person, and naturally it happens. And then again, without having to say it, you guys realize there's a point where you realize, you know what, like, you know, I really like this one, and that takes time. And then you realize over time, outside of the feelings and all that stuff, logically you see like, you know what, I can see this being a real deal. And then you guys decide to take it serious. But the only title, in my opinion, that is important and that is relevant is marriage. Everything else is just child's play to me. But I get your point, but I got to end.
Yeah, I see you, bro. All right, but God bless, brother.
Thank you, brother. Call me again. Nice. I got to end. I'm so out of time, way past the thing. We just got to learn to chill. Just keep in mind that anytime you want to rush, it has to do with your feelings, guys and girls. And guys can pretend like we don't have them, but they're there until we overcome. You know what I mean? We're still working on it. But any kind of title or any kind of thing that you want to add on top of it is because you want to possess and control the person. And you want them to know that you like them, they like you. And it's all manipulation and control, even if it's in an innocent way. But I got to go. Appreciate y'all. I'm gone. American Anchor Baby's coming in, and I'm back here tomorrow for another show. My last day of the week. All right, y'all. Bye. American Anchor Baby.